Our planet is filled with wonders that go far beyond anything humans have ever built. Long before cities, skyscrapers, and technology transformed the landscape of civilization, nature was already shaping the earth into extraordinary forms. Mountains rose slowly from the movement of tectonic plates. Rivers carved deep canyons through ancient rock. Coral reefs grew beneath the oceans, creating ecosystems that support millions of living creatures. These natural wonders remind us that the earth is not just a place where life exists, it is a place where life constantly evolves and reshapes the world itself. When people stand before these incredible landscapes for the first time, they often experience a sense of awe. Scientists call this feeling the awe response, a psychological reaction that occurs when we encounter something vast and powerful that expands our understanding of the world. Natural wonders inspire more than admiration. They encourage curiosity, exploration, and scientific discovery. For centuries, explorers traveled across oceans and continents in search of these extraordinary places. Their journeys revealed landscapes that seemed almost impossible, towering mountains that touched the clouds, waterfalls that thundered across vast cliffs, and forests so dense they appeared endless. Yet, these wonders are not only beautiful, they also play vital roles in the health of our planet. Forests regulate the climate, coral reefs protect coastlines, mountains influence weather patterns and water systems. Every natural wonder is part of a complex network that supports life on the earth. But today, many of these places faces serious challenges. Climate change, pollution, and human development are placing increasing pressure on fragile ecosystems. The question is facing humanity today is not only how to admire these wonders, but how to protect them. So in this video, I will be sharing about 10 of the most extraordinary natural wonders on the earth. Each one tells a story about the incredible forces that shape our planet. These landscapes reveal something important about humanity as well. When we encounter the beauty and power of nature, we are reminded that despite all of our technology and achievements, we remain deeply connected to the natural world. And perhaps the greatest lesson nature offers us is the that the earth is not just a resource for humanity, it is our shared home. Nature's greatest masterpieces. Nature has shaped incredible landscapes over billions of years. These natural wonders inspire awe and remind us of the planet's beauty and power. Mount Everest, the roof of the world, high above the clouds, where the air becomes thin and the temperatures plunge far below freezing, stands the tallest mountain on the earth is Mount Everest. Located in the Himalayas on the border between Nepal and Tibet, Mount Everest rises more than 8,848 meters above sea level, making it the highest point on our planet. For centuries, this mountain was considered unreachable. Local communities respected Everest as a sacred place, believing it was the home of powerful spirits. But in the early 20th century, explorers began attempting what seemed impossible, climbing to the very top of the world. These early expeditions faced enormous challenges. Climbers battled extreme weather, avalanches, freezing temperatures, and a dangerous lack of oxygen. At high altitudes, the human body struggles to function. Even simple movements require tremendous effort. For decades, Mount Everest remained unconquered. Then in 1953, two climbers, Sir Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa mountaineer from Nepal, achieved what many believed could never be done. They reached the summit of Mount Everest. Their achievement became one of the most celebrated moments in exploration history. But Everest represents far more than a climbing challenge. This mountain is a symbol of human determination and a respect for nature's power. Standing at the summit offers a perspective that few people will ever experience, an endless horizon of towering Himalayan peaks stretching across the sky. Yet, Mount Everest also raises important questions about modern exploration. In recent years, the mountain has become increasingly crowded during climbing seasons. Photographs have shown long lines of climbers waiting near the summit, raising concerns about safety and environmental impact. Critics have argued that excessive tourism threatens the mountain's fragile environment. Waste left behind by expeditions has become a serious concern. In response, governments and conservation groups have begun organizing cleanup missions and introducing stricter regulations for climbing permits. These efforts remind us that even the world's most remote places are affected by human activity. Mount Everest teaches us an important lesson about exploration. Reaching the top of the world is not just about conquering the nature, it is about learning to respect it. Earth's geological masterpiece. Imagine standing at the edge of a landscape so vast that your eyes struggle to capture its full scale, stretching across more than 440 kilometers in length, over 29 kilometers in width, and plunging more than 1.8 kilometers deep. The Grand Canyon is one of the most spectacular natural formations on the earth. Located in the state of Arizona in the United States, this immense canyon was not created overnight. Instead, it is the result of a slow and powerful process that has taken millions of years. The primary artist behind this masterpiece is the Colorado River. Over time, the river carved its way through layers of rock, gradually cutting deeper and deeper into the Earth's surface. Each layer of exposed rock represents a different chapter in the planet's geological history. Some of these rocks formations are nearly 2 billion years old. Standing at the canyon's edge is like looking back through the time itself. The colors of the canyon shift throughout the day as sunlight moves across the landscape. In the morning, soft golden light touches the cliffs. By midday, the canyon glows with shades of red, orange, and brown. At sunset, the rocks appear almost purple as shadows stretches across the valleys. For Native American tribes, including the Havasupai, Hopi, Navajo, and Hualapai, the Grand Canyon is far more than a geological wonder. It is a sacred landscape deeply connected to cultural traditions and ancestral stories. Their connection to this land reminds us that natural wonders are not only physical features of the earth, they are also part of human heritage. However, the Grand Canyon has not been free from controversy. Over the years, debates have arisen regarding land development, tourism impact, and the management of water resources along the Colorado River. Some environmental groups have raised concerns about the dam's water diversion and the increasing number of visitors each year. To protect the canyon, large areas have been designed as Grand Canyon National Park, ensuring that this extraordinary landscape remains preserved for future generations. Today, millions of visitors travel from around the world to witness the canyon's breathtaking beauty. But even as people admire its grandeur, the Grand Canyon quietly teaches a deeper lesson. Nature does not rush, it creates its greatest masterpieces through patience, time, and persistence. And sometimes the most powerful forces in the world are the ones that work slowly and silently. Beneath the clear blue waters of the Pacific Ocean lies one of the most extraordinary living ecosystems on our planet, the Great Barrier Reef. Stretching along the northeastern coast of Australia, this massive coral reef system extends for more than 2,300 kilometers, making it the largest coral reef structure in the world. The reef is so enormous that astronauts have reported seeing it from space. Yet, despite its vast size, the Great Barrier Reef is built by some of the smallest architects in nature, tiny organisms called coral polyps. These small marine creatures slowly construct limestone structures that grow and expand over thousands of years. As colonies of coral build upon one another, they form reefs that support incredibly diverse ecosystems. The Great Barrier Reef is home to more than 1,500 species of fish, over 400 types of coral, sea turtles, sharks, dolphins, and countless other marine animals. Because of this incredible biodiversity, scientists often describe coral reefs as the rainforests of the ocean. But the reef's importance extends beyond beauty and biodiversity. Coral reefs also protect coastlines by reducing the impact of powerful ocean waves and storms. They support fisheries that provide food for millions of people and contribute billions of dollars to the global tourism economy. Despite its strength and size, the Great Barrier Reef is also extremely fragile. One of the biggest threats facing the reef today is coral bleaching, a process caused by rising ocean temperatures. When water becomes too warm, corals expel the microscopic algae that give them color and nutrients. Without these algae, corals turn white and become vulnerable to death. Scientists and environmental organizations around the world are working to understand and protect the reef. Efforts include marine conservation zones, research programs, and international initiatives to reduce climatic change. The Great Barrier Reef reminds us that even the most magnificent natural systems depend on delicate balances within the environment. And protecting these systems requires cooperation across nations, cultures, and generations. Because the future of the reef and many other natural wonders depends on the choices humanity makes today. Victoria Falls, the smoke that thunders. On the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, one of the most powerful waterfalls on earth sends enormous curtains of water crashing into a deep gorge below. This spectacular natural wonder is known as Victoria Falls. Local communities have long called this waterfall as Mosi Au Tunya, which translates to the smoke of that thunders. The name perfectly captures the experience of standing near the falls. When the Zambezi River reaches the edge of the cliff, an immense wall of water more than 1,700 meters wide plunges down over 100 meters into a narrow canyon. The force of the falling water creates a roar that can be heard from the kilometers away. As the water crashes into the gorge, enormous clouds of mist rise into the sky, sometimes reaching heights of more than 400 meters. From a distance, these clouds of mist look almost like smoke rising from the earth. The power of the falls creates a unique ecosystem. The constant spray of water supports lush vegetation and rainforest like environments surrounding the waterfall. Explorers from around the world were fascinated when they first encountered this natural wonder. In 1855, the Scottish explorer David Livingstone became one of the first Europeans to document the waterfalls. When he saw them, he famously wrote that the sight was so magnificent that it must have been gazed upon by angels in flight. Today, Victoria Falls is recognized as one of the seven natural wonders of the world and attracts visitors from every corner of the planet. However, the waterfall also faces modern environmental concerns. Climatic patterns have influenced The water levels of the Zambezi River and periods of drought have occasionally reduced the flow of water over the falls. Scientists and environmental experts continue to study how climate change might affect the long-term stability of this incredible ecosystem. Despite these challenges, Victoria Falls remains one of the nature's most dramatic demonstrations of raw power. Standing before the falls, it reminds visitors of something profound. Water, one of the simplest substances on Earth, can also be one of the most powerful forces shaping our planet. The Amazon rainforest across South America stretches one of the most extraordinary ecosystems on Earth, like the Amazon rainforest, covering more than 5.5 million square kilometers. The Amazon is the largest tropical rainforest on the planet. It spans several countries, including Brazil, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador. From above, the forest appears like an endless green ocean. Millions of trees form a dense canopy that stretches to the horizon in every direction. But the Amazon is far more than just a forest. It is a living network that supports an astonishing variety of life. Scientists estimate that the Amazon contains nearly 400 billion trees, more than 16,000 species of plants, millions of insect species, thousands of bird, fish, and mammal species. Many of these species exist nowhere else on the earth. Because of its enormous size and biological activity, the Amazon plays a critical role in regulating the planet's climate. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and releases oxygen, helping maintain the balance of gases in the atmosphere. For this reason, the Amazon is often called as the lungs of the earth. But the rainforest is also deeply connected to human culture. Indigenous communities have lived within the Amazon for thousands of years, developing unique knowledge about plants, animals, and ecosystems. Their traditions remind us that humans and nature can coexist in sustainable ways. However, the Amazon faces serious challenges in the modern world. Deforestation caused by agriculture, mining, and infrastructure development has reduced parts of the forest. Environmental scientists warn that continued destruction could threaten biodiversity and affect global climatic systems. In response, governments, environmental organizations, and indigenous groups are working together to protect the rainforest. Large areas of the Amazon have been designated as protected reserves and national parks. These efforts highlight a crucial truth about our planet. Natural wonders are not only treasures of the earth, they are responsibilities shared by all humanity. Protecting the Amazon means protecting one of the most important ecosystems supporting life on our planet. Northern Lights, a nature's cosmic light show in the far northern regions of our planet when winter nights grow long and the sky becomes dark for hours. Something extraordinary sometimes appears above the horizon. Soft green waves of light begins to dance across the sky. Moments later, streaks of purple, blue, and red shimmer and ripple like curtains moving in a silent wind. This breathtaking natural phenomenon is known as the aurora borealis, or more commonly the northern lights. For thousands of years, people have watched these mysterious lights with wonder and curiosity. Before science explained the phenomenon, many cultures created myths and legends to describe what they were seeing. Some ancient civilizations believed the lights were spirits dancing in the sky. Others thought they were messages from the gods or reflections from heavenly worlds beyond earth. The true explanation, however, is just as fascinating as the myths. The northern lights are created by interactions between the sun and the earth's magnetic field. Our sun constantly releases streams of charged particles known as solar wind. When these particles travel across space and reach Earth, they collide with gases in the upper atmosphere. These collisions releases energy in the form of light. Oxygen molecules produce the familiar green glow, while nitrogen creates shades of red, purple, and blue. The result is one of the most mesmerizing light displays on the earth. The best places to see the northern lights are regions close to the Arctic Circle, including the countries such as Norway, Iceland, Canada, Finland, and Alaska. On clear nights, travelers gather under frozen skies, hoping to witness these extraordinary natural spectacles. When the aura finally appears, silence often falls over the crowd. People simply watch because some experiences are so beautiful that words feel unnecessary. Yet, even this natural wonder is connected to larger cosmic forces. Solar storms that produce strong auroras can also affect satellites, communication systems, and power grids on the Earth. Scientists study these interactions closely to better understand the relationship between our planet and the sun. The northern lights remind us of something extraordinary. Even the sky above our planet is part of a dynamic cosmic system. And sometimes, when solar energy meets Earth's atmosphere in just the right way, the universe paints light across the night sky. Across the northern part of Africa stretches a landscape so vast and extreme that it appears almost otherworldly. The Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert on Earth, covering more than 9 million square kilometers. To put that into perspective, the Sahara is nearly as large as the entire United States. From above, the desert looks like an endless ocean of sand dunes, rocky plateaus, and vast open plains. Some dunes rises more than 180 meters high, constantly shifting shape as powerful desert winds move the sand. During the day, temperatures can exceed 50 degrees Celsius, making survival extremely difficult. At night, however, temperatures can drop dramatically, creating a surprising contrast between scorching days and cold desert nights. Despite these harsh conditions, the Sahara Desert is not completely lifeless. Certain plants and animals have evolved remarkably adaptations to survive in this environment. Camels, for example, can travel long distances without water and are perfectly suited for desert travel. Small desert foxes, reptiles, and insects have also developed strategies to cope with extreme heat. Human communities have lived in and around the Sahara for thousands of years. Nomadic cultures learned how to navigate the desert using the stars, trade routes, and knowledge passed down through generations. Caravans once crossed the Sahara carrying gold, salt, and spices between Africa and the Mediterranean world. These ancient trade networks played an important role in shaping the economic history of entire civilizations. However, the Sahara also highlights modern environmental challenges. Climatic factors and land use changes have contributed to desertification in some regions where fertile land gradually becomes desert. Scientists continue to study these changes to better understand how climate systems affect ecosystems across the planet. Yet, the Sahara remains one of Earth's most powerful reminders of nature's extremes. Standing in the desert, surrounded by dunes stretching to the horizon, visitors often experience a rare sense of silence and vastness. In that silence, it becomes clear how small human life can feel compared to the scale of the natural world. And perhaps that is one of the desert's greatest lessons. Nature does not need to be comfortable to be beautiful. Sometimes its harshest landscapes are also its most awe inspiring. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, about 1,000 kilometers from the coast of Ecuador, lies an extraordinary group of islands known as the Galápagos Islands. At first glance, these islands might appear rugged and remote. Volcanic rock formations, sparse vegetation, and dramatic coastlines give the landscape a unique appearance. But beneath this seemingly harsh environment lies one of the most important ecosystems in the history of science. This island are home to species found nowhere else on the earth. Giant tortoises slowly roam across the islands. Marine iguanas dive into the ocean to feed on algae. Birds known as Darwin's finches display remarkable variations in their beaks, each adapted to different food sources. In the 1830s, a young naturalist named Charles Darwin visited these islands during his voyage abroad, the HMS Beagle. What he observed in the island would later become one of the most revolutionary ideas in the science. Darwin noticed that animals on different islands have slightly different characteristics, even though they were closely related. These variations appear to help each species survive in its specific environment. From these observations, Darwin developed the theory of evolution by natural selection. This theory explained how species gradually changed over time as they adapt to their environments. Today, Darwin's theory of evolution forms one of the fundamental principles of modern biology. These islands are therefore not only a natural wonder, they are also a place where humanity gained deeper insights into the processes that shape life itself. However, the islands face modern challenges, increasing tourism, invasive species, and environmental pressures. have raised concerns about preserving this delicate ecosystem. In response, the Ecuadorian government and international conservation organizations have implemented strict protections. Large portions of the islands are now designated as national parks and marine reserves. These efforts help ensure that the island remains a living laboratory where scientists can continue studying evolution and biodiversity. Islands remind us of something remarkable. Sometimes the most important discoveries about life come from observing nature carefully. Rising gracefully above the landscape of Japan stands one of the most recognizable mountains in the world, Mount Fuji. With its perfectly symmetrical cone shape, Mount Fuji has become a powerful symbol of natural beauty and cultural identity. The mountain stands 3,776 meters high, making it the tallest peak in the Japan. But Mount Fuji is not only admired for its appearance, it is also a volcano that formed through powerful geological processes beneath the Earth's surface. Although the volcano is currently dormant, it has erupted several times in recorded history. For centuries, Mount Fuji has held deep spiritual significance in Japanese culture. Pilgrims have climbed the mountain as part of religious journeys, believing the ascent represents purification and spiritual growth. Artists, poets, and writers have also drawn inspiration from Fuji's beauty. One of the most famous examples is of the artwork of Katsushika Hokusai, whose series of prints titled 36 Views of Mount Fuji helped introduce the mountain to audiences around the world. Today, Mount Fuji attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. Many travelers climb the mountain during the official climbing season to witness sunrise from the summit, a moment often described as unforgettable. However, increasing tourism has raised concerns about environmental protection. Local authorities now promote sustainable tourism practices, encouraging visitors to respect the mountain and preserve its natural beauty. Mount Fuji reminds us that natural wonders often hold both physical and cultural significance. They shape not only landscapes but also the traditions, stories, and the identities. The natural wonders we have explored in this video reveals something extraordinary about our planet. From towering mountains to glowing skies, from vast deserts to vibrant coral reefs, Earth is filled with landscapes that inspire awe and curiosity. Each of these places tells a story about the forces that shape our world. Some were created by shifting tectonic plates deep beneath the Earth's surface. Others were formed by rivers carving through rock over millions of years. Some exist because of delicate ecological systems that support countless living organisms. But perhaps the most important lesson these natural wonders offer us is that they are not permanent. Many of these landscapes face growing challenges from climate change, pollution, and human activity. Protecting them requires awareness, cooperation, and responsibility. Across the world, scientists conservationists and communities are working together to preserve these extraordinary places. National parks, protected areas, and international environmental agreements are helping safeguard the natural treasures of our planet. But conservation is not only the responsibility of governments or the organizations, it is a responsibility shared by every person who calls the earth as a home. Because when we protect nature, we are also protecting the systems that support life itself. The wonders of our planet have existed for millions of years, and with care and respect, they can continue inspiring future generations for millions more. The earth is filled with extraordinary beauty, and the greatest adventure of all may simply be learning to protect it. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.